国际木鱼计划协会。 Good evening, my friends. It's 8 o'clock. I've been sitting here for 7 minutes, and today the heating system in this room somehow kind of stopped. I have very serene and quiet meditation. I enjoy it. Today it's our 14th for this meditation. So that means it has been 2 weeks from when we started. And as I mentioned, I will continue for at least another 2 weeks. In the past 2 weeks, every day we have some so-called words. I share with you some of the Buddhist teaching, and today we will finish so-called another 5 contemplation to stop the distracted mind. And then from next week, I would like to start to share with you that at least 25 preparation, good meditation. And as I mentioned, when people sit for the meditation has a different intention. Some people just want to reduce the stress and maybe listen to music and about funning, taking walk, and, do some meditation. You can find many kinds of meditation, on app or on video. People teach you, and I think it's a good thing. Right now the mindfulness meditation has been the kind of a trend in the West. Really good, but of course for many of the Buddhist practitioners, especially for monks and nuns, that meditation is not just reduce the stress, but the goal is to attain the enlightenment. And so, frankly, I started this, class for meditation. I've been thinking about, should I just make it easy and then invite everybody just not to talk in depth. Then I also realized that this is a good time to share, to teach. Meditation is more deeper, in depth. So people who are really interested in Buddhist meditation, even in the future, they want to teach Buddhist meditation, help them. And so I decided to kind of more systematically to introduce this meditation. And people ask, what kind of a meditation? There was many kinds of meditation. Of course, I like to say that the way we're doing not, we call SPA meditation, go there, but more with kind of a scholar meditation. I try to introduce you the theory and practice, the Buddhist text, especially I combine with Theravada tradition, Buddhism tradition, and also to Tian Tai school, that Chinese Buddhism, finally it's kind of compilation of the Buddhist meditation, all the tradition and into one. So, and there are so many information, and especially the work from, Tian Tai, it's just like a encyclopedia on the meditation. So I like to introduce to you. I try to use easy language, but of course you also have to, practice. The meditation most important is you have to experience yourself. Okay, everything on the written or decided, if you don't, practice and you do not have the experience, it's a kind of a not relevant to you, and it's just a knowledge, it's just a data. So, and then I have mentioned before, I hope that you, after these 2 weeks of practice, you have to be able, whenever you close your eyes, and immediately you can focus on your nose and breathing in, breathing out, and focus, and kind of enter to semi or similarly dhyana, concentration, or immediately focus on certain parts of the sensation on your body, like the pains, the sore, the numb, the strong sensation on your body. And I will tell you, this will be a really good remedy for some disease or some illness, I should say, illness. And it's the way to maintain your health. Of course, that's not what I mean, or your disease or illness. You still have to, if you got sick, you have to go to see the doctor. Right? But this is the way, just like we practice Kung Fu or Qigong, or some people doing exercise to keep the body, fit. The same idea. But this one is more passive, but it's really immediate deal with your cells, body cells, inside. And, I like to say that, I don't know how people really, keep following these lessons, but so far right now, up to today, we're going to have 2 weeks, 14 days. For those people have not really following up, this meditation, that you should look at it. Right now, I kind of indicate day 2, day 3. So it's a very systematically, step by step, to teach you how to do the meditation. So I hope more people, if you somehow missed or dropped, some days of meditation, you can catch up. At the end, I would like to invite those people who really, devote time and following every day's meditation. And I have a reward for you. If you can really take a class for 1 month, then when when the things come to normal, I would like to invite you to come to Eastover for the retreat, and then you can be here, run and ball for free as a reward for you to be a good student and good audience. Okay. Well, we will come up with a more detailed policy. Okay. Let's try today. Basically, there was no new technique, but reviewed what we have been doing. Okay, so practice and practice, and you should write it down about your improvement. What do you feel? Write some journal and write it down every day. Every step, every stage. What happened to you from this meditation experience? Again, body, breath, mind. Body, sit, feet closed, full lotus. Your back upright, but before you sit tightly. Okay. Clockwise, counterclockwise. Okay, so make sure you sit steady. Upright, relax, hands, thumb slightly touch, palms, right palm, left palm on the top. It doesn't matter. Okay, shoulder. Open up, put it down, and chin, pour in, not up, not down, but in the center. Tongue slightly touched upper teeth, behind the upper teeth. Closed. Okay. Now this is the seventh step of Vairocana. Now the body position is ready. Okay. Breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. Anapana. The breath is longer, subtle, it's better. Sound, no noise, no panting, not coarse, rough, but subtle. Aware the air breathing in, the air comes out. The air is full of a body. Now start to scan the sensation on your top, the center top of your head, itching, heavy, sore, pain, light, hot, cold. Extend the top of your head. Focus attention to your whole head. Forehead. to your right brow, right eye, left brow, eyebrow, left eye, right cheek, left cheek, mouth, now to back of your neck, front neck, now to your right shoulder, right upper arm, right elbow, wrist, your right palm, first finger, thumb, second finger, index, third finger, middle finger, the fourth finger, ring finger, the fifth finger, pinky. Now move to left shoulder. Upper arm, left elbow, lower arm, and wrist, left palm, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger. Now front chest, your lung, your heart beating, now to your belly, move to your back, to your waist, now to your hip, right hip, right thigh, right knee, right leg, foot, sole of your foot, first toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now let's move to left hip, left thigh, left knee, left leg, to left foot, sole of left foot, first toe, second toe, third, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now you have finished and the whole body. You should find yourself feel warm, heat, even sweet. In the future, if you have time, you should just spend in only one day only doing scanning the sensation in your body from top to the bottom to the top. Now let's move to technique 2. To locate it, the strong sensation on your body. For lots of people, especially on their feet, foot, knees, leg, you feel numb, pain, heavy, especially pain is the strongest sensation. Now, move there, focus on the strongest sensation on your body. Maybe on your knees, on your foot, maybe on your shoulder. Especially those places maybe have injury. If you have an injury, broken bone, or has some wound, it's too painful. Don't force yourself too much, okay? Now let's do technique 3. Start to do analysis. Analyze where is the pain, hurt, where exactly the pinpoint pain. What is the pain mean or look like? Go there, focus, penetrated the pain, the feeling of a pain. Let's do some metta meditation. Spread the positive, loving kindness prayer to yourself and to the people you know and unknown to you. May I be free from the effect of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering. Be well and healthy. May my spouse, partner, and children be free from of a coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, be well and healthy. May my parents and brothers and sisters free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May my teachers and my students be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all my friends and neighbors free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in this country free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people in this world be free from infection of coronavirus and other disease, and be well and healthy, free from suffering. May all the sentient beings free from greed, hatred, and ignorance, and be well and happy. May all the doctors and nurses and medical personnel and people who stand in the front line workers be free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. We'd like to thank you, all these doctors and nurses and people standing the front line who risk their life and tirelessly to serve other people. May all the politician leaders free from the infection of coronavirus and other disease, free from greed, hatred, and ignorance, and be well and healthy. We pray this leader will take a wise measure and to create harmonious society and peaceful world. May all the people who suffer from the infection of coronavirus will regain the rapid recovery, free from suffering, and be well and healthy. May all the people die from the coronavirus will rest in peace and be reborn in a better and happier realm. A弥陀佛. Now wrapping your hands, cover your eyes, massage your forehead, your head, your ears, your back, your shoulder, your arms, your back, your thigh, your knees, your leg, and the foot. Okay, now come to share with you about the Dharma, and I keep mentioning that in Buddhism, the meditation contemplation is not just when you sit on the cushion with eyes closed. Very important is in our life, the way we observe and contemplate what's going on in this world. And that is also a meditation. And so we have, for the past 2 weeks, we have introduced the teaching, so-called for contemplation, you know. So when you come to Buddhism, talk about besides, you know, these breathing in, breathing out, anapanna, or the inside meditation, vipassana. And the most important thing, the talk about these for contemplation. Think about the body is not always perfect, and the sensation, feeling is not always pleasant because it changes, it's impermanence. And our thought, our mind is always changing, impermanent. And then all the dharmas, everything happens in the world, we see the interdependence. We can't rely on each other. We are all interconnected, inter-affected too. You know? So you will, you know, foster some kind of life, okay, for you, and life philosophy to support your life, the way you see the world and the way you act the world. And the other one is what we call the five contemplation. Okay, 5 ways to stop the, you know, our anxious mind, disoriented, disordered mind, distracted mind. And if we look at what, you know, our problem, the first one is greed. So use on the contemplation on impurity, not perfect body, you know, and especially your body and other people's body, to reduce greed, desire, and lust. Okay, and then to raise the contemplation on compassion. So metta, loving kindness, compassion, to deal with the hatred. So these are the remedy, you know, to our poisons, disposition or quality, character. And so to the ignorant, it's good to understand the what we call paticca samuppada. We are all independent, and how this world things come to be, and things will come to be and stay and then decline and then vanish. Okay, so this, if you understand, almost like the physics, the universal formulation, then you gain the wisdom, and then you know how to deal with your, and deal with the wisdom, the remedy to the ignorance. And then the fourth one is a kind of a talk about skill, the anapanna, the breathing in, breathing out, especially very for our the distracted mind. And so today I want to share with you about the fifth one. In tradition, in the earlier text, it focuses on still the meditation on the four elements of the. I think this one we will talk about it. I will put it into when we talk about the meditation, sensation on your body. We will kind of illustrate it, future class on the meditation. Today, I want to share with you what Mahayana Buddhism talk about. How will you deal with the so-called this fifth contemplation to stop your distracted mind. So we call, 五停心, 5 methods to stop, the distracted mind. And this one is more focused on so-called contemplate on the Buddha. A lot of people take it literally. They say, recite the name of the Buddha. If you look at the content in the text, what it really means. What it really means, use is your mind. Where is your mind? Your mind is on a higher stage, like an enlightenment stage. Enlightened stage. And what is the enlightened mind? Of course, in the Buddhist older text mentioned all kinds of, to describe the enlightenment. And I think that I read what in the Zen tradition or Chan tradition, the sixth patriarch, Huineng, in his Playful Sutra, what is our self-nature? Okay, our self-nature is so, 何其自性，本自清净 so pure. That means, our self-nature, we embrace something, our mind, or let me use a kind of a secular contemporary world. I know that Buddhism don't like to talk about S-O-U-L. Yeah. But let's say, consciousness can be so pure. That means what? That means that everyone can have a good nature, deep down good nature. People were kind of wondering, how about those serial killer? From this life, the way we look at it, maybe some people will say, no remorse, no hope. But from Buddhist view, the whole, the sentient being is, we are reincarnation, like a life and life and life. So that still have that potentiality to be good. Okay, but anyway, come back. And if we read, kind of bring back to yourself, okay? If everyone recognizes your own self-nature, like look inside. Okay, before I illustrated about, the kind of self-nature, every summer, Woodenfish project brings many students, over 100 students, and then, many from United States and Canada. And most of the time, most of the year, that the students come from more than 25 countries. And of course, they are young, especially they come from the Western Christians kind of religion. So when they see the Buddha statue, they say, that's idol. I don't worship idol. Okay. But I will explain to them, okay, this is only a symbol. Just like a flag, national flag, it's a piece of cloth. But why you have to salute to the flag, or you even have to risk your life to save a piece of paper, a piece of cloth? No, it's because there was a symbol there. So that means the patriotism, or it represents your country. Okay, so the Buddha statue, the symbol of Buddha statue represents the enlightenment. And so I told the student that, the Buddha doesn't need your bowing or, your worship, because he already attained enlightenment. He has no desire to receive lots of people worship you. Now we talk about it, if some guru still like to have lots of people worship them, then that means this one probably has lots of desire to be worshipped. Okay. So the Buddha has no desire to be worshipped. So why you bow to the Buddha? So in sixth patriarch Huineng, the Platform Sutra indicated very clearly that so-called the Buddha indeed is our pure nature. So-called the Dharma is something, is a righteousness, something right in the middle part, away from too extreme, no bias. And then, the Buddha is the enlightened, okay? And the Dharma is something righteous and the middle path. And so-called the Sangha, it means the people live together in pure, to keep the assembly pure, integrity and honest. So when we say, okay, I become a Buddhist follower or practitioner, or you don't, to worship the Buddha statue, that is not the purpose. That is not the aim. But more discover your enlightened nature, your righteous nature, your pure nature. So in the Platform Sutra called Zheng Jing, this good quality, that's what you have to worship for. It's you discover from your inside, unfold from your inside, find it in your nature. That means that you have to become, awakened person, a person with the righteousness, a person with the impurity, honesty, and decency. And that is what really means a Buddhist practitioner means. So when you bow down, you are not bowed to the Buddha. Look at the inside yourself and to unfold this. So as I mentioned, that contemplation is in your daily life. Even when you do the prayer. Okay, you have to look inside. Okay, today, I have done something wrong, with my hatred, my greedy, my stupidity. It's kind of cleansing, confession, repentant. Okay. Also kind of a contemplation as well. And then you will not always belittle yourself and look down yourself, despise yourself, but tell yourself that, okay, my self nature is pure, it's noble. I always tell people, for months and months, why you are looking for because six patriarch Huineng already mentioned, 何其本性，本自清净. I always say, 何其本性，本自尊贵. Your self nature is already noble. Respective. So it's already inside there. You don't spend that much time to search for popularity, fame, name, if you really recognize that you are self-nature. Okay. So always contemplate on this kind of sublimated, stage, this power. And finally, I want to introduce that in Chinese Buddhism, when we see people, we will say, A弥陀佛. And when I greet to my student, I say, A弥陀佛as well. What does it mean? It means Amitabha, and that means unlimited, infinite light, infinite life. So light means space, and life means time. I always say infinite, unlimited, space. And what does it mean? Our self-nature, the awakening mind is, unlimited, full of unlimited space and time. Yeah. So every time if we say A弥陀佛, literally means, my self-nature is infinite life and infinite light. Infinite in the space. And so this is the kind of, when you contemplate, it's the goal. Now finally, I'd like to introduce you, recently I'm reading the book from New York Times, columnist, famous, the writer, David, his book. Recently, his book called The Second Mountain, and I recommend you go to read it. I think he is the reader. He has been written on the worldly culture, and he also focused on kind of a moral ethic standard. And I find very interesting in one of the paragraphs, our soul. I know that in the Western, we tend to talk about soul, S-O-U-L. And then it says that our soul is without color, without taste, without smell, and it's infinite. And I find that it's very interesting. We use language to kind of try to express that there was a certain mental stage, the consciousness that we are all aim for. We are all trying to reach out there And we all believe that there was a very, no stage, sublimate stage up there, and we are all, searching for and trying to reach out there. And I believe that it's the enlightenment. So I always said that to be monks and nuns, like in our life, and our goal is always the enlightenment. That's the ultimate goal. And try to outreach there. We have to do the meditation, have that experience. We have to really, gain the wisdom from the sutra, the Buddhist scripture. And the other one is, many people know I'm very busy with the, create the program. I'm more like a program-oriented nun. But that's the way I try to serve people, So that is my practice, that is my, what we call the diligence practice. So meditation, and then reading the sutra, and then serve the community with our, Okay, now it's 8, and I'd like to say goodbye, for tonight, and I see you tomorrow. And tomorrow I will start to introduce you about the, 25 good preparation to get a good meditation from the 10 Tides meditation manual or the 10 Tides meditation encyclopedia. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. 阿弥陀佛。